Good morning, everyone. This is Ashland KY Chiropractor Dr. Dillon, and this is your weekly video health tip. Well, kind of expanding on what we went over last week, the DGAC, or the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, has formally released its new recommendations. Now, I was not expecting this to come out until later this year, but this past week, they did formally release their recommendations, and what the DGAC does is they are the people that give their recommendations to the government, and the government takes their recommendations into consideration, and that's where the new government dietary guidelines come from. The committee made several surprising changes in its recommendations, including what we talked about last week, removing the warnings about consuming too much dietary cholesterol, and this is very important because it did not find a relationship between dietary cholesterol and heart disease. And that was over a whole body of evidence, not just one paper. So all of you people out there that are OVerding on statin medications and you're having horrible muscle cramps and body aches because of it, take that into consideration because they did not find a substantial relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. Okay. Some of the other things that they've recommended to the government are they're strongly advising against consuming too many added sugars. Okay. Something that we in the nutrition industry have known for quite a while. Don't eat extra sugar. Okay. There's sugar in many foods anyway. You don't need to add more. They are also raising the upper limit on sodium consumption for everyone, because the evidence they found, evidence that limiting sodium intake does not provide additional cardiovascular protection. Okay, so I hope you guys are paying attention to this, because some of these things you're hearing are the exact opposite of things that we've been hearing for years, and many of you are on heavy medications with heavy side effects because of those old recommendations. So this is something that's very important and something to consider. A third change that they're making is they're finding that coffee consumption is acceptable in moderation. That should be common sense. But they're noting that some research links 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day to reduced risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Okay. Now, I personally haven't read a lot of the information on those papers, so I have nothing extra to add to that. But they're also strongly encouraging a plant-based diet, including eating more fruits, vegetables, and legumes, nuts, and whole grains. Now, that does not mean just be a vegetarian. That just means you should eat more of those things and substitute a little bit of meat in with it every now and then. Okay. If you have any questions at all about this video or the article that's attached to it, please feel free to call me at 606-929-9667. I will be more than happy to answer any questions I can about this research. If you're watching me over on Facebook, hit the like button for me. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Or if you're over at www.dillonchiropractic.com, please wait till you're prompted. Enter your name and email address, and that way I can send you these weekly video health tips every week. There is always an unsubscribe link at the bottom of the page, and we'll never, ever, ever spam you. So, once again, this is Dr. Gary Dillon, Ashland KY Chiropractor, and I look forward to next week when I can bring you another video health tip to help you and your family be as healthy as you can be.